The advice and opinions expressed by the host of Autism Live and her guests are meant solely as suggestion and should not be in any way construed as child-specific advice. The Center for Autism and Related Disorders advises working with a board-certified behavior analyst who has experience with autism before starting any intensive behavioral intervention. Any choices you make in determining your child's treatment are completely at your own discretion.
Good morning and welcome to Let's Talk Autism with Shannon and Nancy on Autism Live. I'm Shannon Penrod and Nancy Alspaugh-Jackson is taking some time off, but she sends her regards. So thrilled to be here with you guys on this Friday morning. I just want to make you aware of a couple of things. At some point today, we are going to have a building-wide fire drill in the building in which we do this show. And I'm telling you this because it may happen sometime during the next hour. If it does, we will notify you that we are going to a commercial break and then we'll be right back right afterwards. But I wanted to bring this up because it's really important. There's a couple of times in the year when we all want to remind ourselves how important it is to do fire drills and safety drills and things of this nature. Now, this is important no matter who you are, no matter where you live, whether you have a kiddo on the autism spectrum or you are on the spectrum, this is important no matter what. But when you are anybody who has sensory issues or anybody who has any kind of a difference with dealing with communication or socialization, we would want to work on this more. So this makes individuals who are on the autism spectrum prime for having more rehearsal for this as opposed to less. I know that a lot of times people will go, oh, well, let's not make the kiddos with the sensory issues do the fire drill because their ears are sensitive to it. And I don't want to say, yes, no, we need to be sensitive to that, but let's not cut them out of learning the fire drill. Maybe we do extra fire drills when we aren't having the noise. Maybe we keep a pair of noise canceling headphones for an emergency, right? Because it's always important to rehearse. When something actually happens, so much is going on. You want to have that body memory of, oh, I know what we do when this happens. We move in this direction. And we do it with the lights on, with no other, no smoke and things like that, so that we remember what to do. It's good rehearsal. So usually we try to remind you guys when we do daylight savings time, and I forgot to a couple of weeks ago. So this is a good week to do a fire drill in your house. Do an earthquake drill, do any kind of a drill that you feel that is important to you. And it's really important to do it at different times of the day and the night. And it's important to do it when everybody is in different areas of your house. So if you're used to doing the fire drill where everybody's sitting around in the living room watching TV and we go, time for a fire drill, that's well and good, but maybe you should do one 5 minutes after everybody goes to bed one night. Because a lot of times these things will happen when people are in bed and we want to have a feeling of where would we go, what do we do? And you'll notice things when you do that. You'll be like, especially if you turn the lights out 5 minutes after they go to sleep, and you'll be like, oh, it would be good to have a flashlight next to everybody's bedside table, right? Isn't that a smart thing to do? But honestly, I know that I've got one next to my bedside table, but it reminds me that I do not have one currently next to my son's bedside table. So do a fire drill. We're going to participate in one at some time today. I'm kind of hoping it's not during the show because we have a lot of ground to cover. Traven's going to show you some of the different ways that you can connect with us while I remind you that our homepage is autism-live.com. So much to do there, right? Watch the videos that we've done in the past. Ask questions from there, from the chat at the bottom. Check out the toy guide at the top. There's just so many things to do. Use it in the way that suits you. And if there's something that isn't there, please let me know, because that's what we want that website to be. We want it to be a place where you can come find your answers, your information, and your inspiration, right? Get that all on, right? Okay, so definitely check it out. But Traven's showing you all the other ways that you can connect with us here on the show, because you can watch us on so many different platforms. And by the way, we really count on you guys. Look, the snow on the roof is showing you that I am not the spring chicken here. But if you have a way that you listen to podcasts or like podcasts and you like to download that information, and if we're not available on that, would you please do me a favor and give me a heads up as to where you'd like to see the show? Because I'd like to make that happen. That's, we're all about that. Our mission is to be wherever you need us to be, whenever you need us to be, right? Okay, so having said all of that, I do want to say too, subscribe, because when you go to our website, there's a little pop-up that comes up and that says, please subscribe. And it's free. It's totally free. We do not sell your information to anybody, and we don't spam you. What we do is we send you a postcard every week showing you who's going to be on the show and what we're talking about. So I think most people are really thrilled with that. And you can do that really easily. Or if you don't want to do that, it's totally fine. Just you're going to have to click the little X and make it go away so that you can look at everything else on the website. All right, we got a little bit of in the news to get going, because we got a lot of amazing toys to show you today. So the first bit of news, I don't know if you saw this really great article in People magazine, hello, that a Texas dad says that getting an Apple Watch changed the life of his son. And I thought this was really, really interesting that Sam Bennett, who's 21, had been struggling for a long time. He's on the autism spectrum, and his voice was too loud. Boy, I can't relate to this at all, right? Because I have to modulate my volume from time to time and lose track of it. So his dad, Scott, they'd tried everything. They'd try, there are viewers that we have that have written into us several times about this, trying to figure out, what can I do? There's all kinds of things that you can do. You can get a PVC pipe with 2 elbows and a little piece in the middle that makes like a phone shape, and you have your child hold it up. It's very low tech, but you hold it up to their phone and they talk and they can hear themselves. And a lot of times that will do it, right? But that didn't work for his son, and he tried so many different things, and it really affected his life and how he was able to make friends, and it affected the family's life, because when somebody's just loud, loud, loud with no modulation, it can be really exhausting, right? And Dad says we couldn't go places. He also has a short attention span, so you put all these things together and it's hard on the family. You learn to adapt, but it's always tough, and especially for a guy like me who thrives on silence. This is Dad saying this. I got blessed with the loudest human being on the planet, and sometimes that's how it works. But so Dad discovered that on Apple Watches that there was an app that shows the decibels of something and gave immediate feedback. And this is something we talk about in the field of ABA all the time, that the best way to teach anybody anything is to give them lots of opportunity and immediate feedback, and that you put those two things together, and that's the best way to teach anybody anything. So Apple Watch was giving this young man, he's talking, so he's got lots of opportunities, right? And the watch is on, and it was giving him immediate feedback, showing in colors that, when he was starting to speak a little bit loud, it went yellow, and when he was talking too loud, it was in red, and where he wanted to get it was in green. And it worked. He was able to then have all that immediate feedback and go, oh, this is the tone at which I need to speak. Yay, Apple. Yay to Scott Bennett, who discovered this. And of course, Dad, as any autism dad, he says, my first thought was, why didn't I think of this sooner? And I think that's what a lot of it, but hey, nobody but you had thought of it before this. So we absolutely love this, and congratulations to them. And try it. For those of you who have kiddos who you've been working on this and have not been able to get it under control, see if you can get the Apple Watch to work. Yay, Apple. Okay, we're just all about big entrepreneurs today. So we also want to talk a little bit about something controversial with Elon Musk. So recently he was on a podcast called Artificial Intelligence with Lex Fridman. Friedman. For those of you who don't know Elon Musk, he is the SpaceX chief, and Tesla is his invention. He's brilliant and he's very forward thinking. So he has this new product that he is working on that has to do with artificial reality and artificial intelligence. It's called Neuralink. And it is something that he is hoping to hook people up to that can bridge the gap between what you've got and the skill that you need to have. I don't pretend to completely understand it, but Elon Musk was on this podcast and he was describing it. And what he said, and I'm going to quote here, is, so Neuralink, I think, at first will solve a lot of brain-related diseases. So could be anything from like autism, schizophrenia, memory loss. Like everyone experiences memory loss at certain points in age. Parents can't remember their kids' names and that kind of thing. Yeah, everybody take a breath. So one of the things that we constantly have to overcome is words matter. And unfortunately, sometimes words only matter to the person that they matter to, because when I'm talking about something having to do with computers, I'm like, oh, well, I downloaded it. And I'm talking to a computer person, and they're like, no, you didn't. You uploaded it. And to them, it's a very big deal. And I'm like, upload, download, what's the difference? And they're like, everything. Everything is the different with that, right? And to me, I don't get emotionally tied to that because I'm like, well, the gist of what I'm trying to say to you is that I put it where it needed to be. That's what I'm trying to, so what's the big deal about the words? But words matter to people. And of course, to those of us who have kiddos on the spectrum and those of you who are on the spectrum, the words that are used around autism matter to us. And we're constantly having to remind people that autism is not a disease. That if you're an intelligent person and you look up disease in the dictionary, you can see very quickly that it is not something that autism would qualify for. So I think for a lot of us, this brain-related diseases, and the very first example that he can come up with is autism is like, oh, Elon, no, right? I think that's just the first thing. And for people, I was just in a conversation with someone that I love and adore and who's intelligent and bright and a mover and shaker. And he said to me, so can you just help me out? Is it a disease? Is it a disorder? And I said, oh, for heaven's sake, please don't say disease. That is like major faux pas. And the truth of the matter is that none of us really love and snuggle up to disorder either. But that is the actual fact of the current designation of what autism is considered is a disorder. A disorder is vastly different than a disease, and you're not going to catch the disorder, you're not going to transmit the disorder, right? Where disease, there would be the potential for that. So important distinction for those of us that it matters. I feel bad for Elon because I don't think that he meant the way it came across, right? And we always have to take that into consideration. But it's like, Elon, if you're going to make part of your life's work creating a thing that's going to help people on the autism spectrum, you need to get this. You need to understand this, Elon. And, you know, there's so many things that you could teach me, Elon. Let me teach you this. Don't call it a disease, hon. It's not going to work for us all. Okay, and then comparing autism to schizophrenia, you really, you know, to throw those three examples out, after that, you know, it's like, oh, autism, schizophrenia, and memory loss, and even parents who can't remember their kids' names. It's like, ooh, let's think about how much is attached to each one of those things. So in any case, I think it's worthwhile for all. I know it caused me to go look up Neuralink to go, okay, what is this actually doing? And there are a lot of projects right now that are designed to take technology and either put it in glasses or something else that hooks up to a person. Sometimes actually, you know, electrodes hooking up to their brain to help read. We know there are bracelets right now that measure a child's respiration and heart rate and even their sensory system to feel when they are heating up to show when they might be primed for a meltdown. Like, we want to go with you there, Elon. So come with us. Come with us. Let's get the words right and let's go there together. Okay? That's all I have to say about that. We have to be a little bit tolerant in this community, right? But we'll pick and choose who we're tolerant for. I'm choosing to be tolerant with Elon today because he's pretty bright. I think he can get it with time and join us and make something fabulous happen. All right, that's our news for today. And we're going to start to cover a bunch of different toys. And so I'm just going to jump in here. We love Fisher-Price. I mean, is it really a holiday without Fisher-Price? And Fisher-Price has made something so luscious. I don't know if you are all fans of otters like I am. And, you know, I don't watch a lot of videos online like my husband and my son do of the animals and the animals doing different things, but I'll watch a little bit. It is a stress reliever, right? I'll watch a few cat videos. I'll watch John Oliver's little hamsters wearing Speedos. Thank you so much, John Oliver. I'll watch a little bit of that. But then there are the otters. And I could sit and watch that video of that mama otter petting her baby otter until they come to get me to go home, right? So I love me some otters to begin with. But this particular toy, this is called the Soothe and Snuggle Otter. This is what it'll look like when you go to get it on the shelf. This is what it looks like when you take it out of its little baby crib. So this is so soft, like you just can't even believe how soft this is. And he's super duper cute. And I want to tell you that the age rating on this is birth and up. I wanted to make sure of that. He's got these two cute little hands that are here and they're sewn down to his little belly. And he's got this beautiful little embroidered part on his belly. And when you push down on his belly, he then becomes interactive. And right now you're seeing he's breathing and snoring, right? But in the back here, I can open up little Mr. Soothe and Snuggle, and I've got lots of different controls here. I can make him less noisy. My favorite one is the one where he snores. And let me see if I can reset here. I think I have to push the button, and then I'm going to push the button that's soft breathing and snoring. And I hear his heartbeat. Can you hear that, you guys? His little itty bitty heartbeat. And then if I push it again, I don't know which one, because there's 4 functions there. One of them is that he snores. One is that there's a fan. And there's a function here where he does the breathing thing, where it goes up and down and he snores. There's a light that goes on, and there's a music function. And once you push one of these functions, can you hear? Oh my gosh. And then there's another one where we get him just breathing. So when you push the function, it will do that for the next 30 minutes. So the whole idea behind this, and it's so clever, is that we know, science has shown, even for adults, if you are having trouble going to sleep, that laying next to someone who is already sleeping is the best way to go to sleep. Because what happens is, naturally, your body starts to breathe in the same rhythm that they're breathing, and there's a very specific rhythm to sleep. So you lay down next to them, you start to breathe in the same way that they're breathing, and your body goes, oh, it's time to go to sleep. And it's part of the reasons why babies like to co-sleep, right? And look, I'm a fan of co-sleeping. I know that there are people who are, just diametrically opposed to this. I'm not one of them. I was until I had a child. And then I needed rest. And I needed to know that my child was okay. But there comes a point where you're not really getting the full rest because your child is sleeping with you and you're worried. Like, I don't want to roll over on them, so on and so forth. So, and ultimately, we all want our children to sleep in their own beds, and we want them to be able to soothe themselves to go to sleep. So what the Otter does is gives you this option. You could just put it in to snuggle with the baby, or you can pick one of these functions. And I love, because all of our babies have different sensory needs. And some of them would like music, and for some of them that's terrifying. But there is one that is, it mimics the breathing. Right now I'm hearing the heartbeat. Let me push this again and see what else I get. maybe I got pushed. There we go. Now I'm getting the snoring. And so for me, like if you gave me one of these, my insomnia would be gone. And it does have one setting where the belly goes up and down as well. It's so cute, you guys. It's so precious. What a great gift to give to somebody who has a newborn baby, to help them to learn to soothe themselves, to help them to learn how to, because it's the beginning of self-regulation, you guys, which we're going to work on for the rest of their lives, right? Why not start with something cute and cuddly and fabulous and give them the gift of being able to put themselves to sleep with a little help and support, but having it not be you allows you to sleep. So Fisher-Price, hitting it out of the park again. This is Soothe and Snuggle Otter for birth and up. I could go to sleep right here. It is so stinking precious. And very easy to change it. Now we're getting music. Now I have it on the loudest setting, but you can turn it down too. It's just precious. Okay, Fisher-Price, love, and this is in our toy guide. Right now, go to our toy guide on our website. You go to the baby section, find the Soothe and Snuggle Otter by Fisher-Price, hover over the name of it, and then you can order one of them right from there. We don't get any money from that. It's just a convenience for you. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. All right, you guys, we're going to take a break, and then we are going to come back and talk about some functional pretend play toys that blew my doors off. Wig blown. See you right after this.
Hey, I'm Candace Cameron Bray.
Tom Bergeron.
You're watching Autism Live.
And you're watching Autism Live.
And you're watching Autism Live.
You're watching Autism Live.
Do you provide care services to someone with autism? Recently, more and more children are being diagnosed with the condition and getting the support they need as awareness grows. But what happens to these children as they grow up? It's estimated that over 500,000 youth with autism will turn 18 in the next decade, and they'll be faced with a very difficult reality. As children with autism grow up, their services start to disappear or become very difficult to access. Things like medical care, mental health counseling, vocational training, and more. All services that are still desperately needed. The loss of support that youth with autism face as they grow up is so severe that it's referred to in the autism community as falling off a cliff. Adults with autism need the same level of support they had as children to avoid falling off the services cliff. Introducing Skills Living, the web-based software designed specifically to help transitioning youth and adults with autism so they can avoid the cliff and instead fly to success. With Skills Living, help your learner with autism develop the skills they need in all the critical areas of adult life, including self-control, planning, and problem-solving, effective communication, performing life skill tasks for independent living, acquiring and maintaining employment or other meaningful activities, developing and maintaining social skills and relationships, accessing transportation and public services, and being safe. Skills Living includes a comprehensive assessment, a data collection mobile app, behavior intervention plan builder, and automatic progress reporting. It also provides a complete curriculum addressing 16 key areas spanning the entire range of functioning adulthood. Skills Living is easy to use and can be implemented by schools, parents, and autism service providers. Call or click today for your free demo and see how Skills Living can help your learner with autism avoid the cliff and instead reach their fullest potential. Skills Living. Wish, learn, become.
Welcome back to Autism Live. I'm too busy playing and having fun. But we're welcoming right now Baylee Worel, and she is coming to us. She's a brand manager at Salus Brands. She coordinates marketing and product research. She's a graduate of Arizona State University. And you have a degree in English literature?
Yes.
Look at you and working with toys. So I promised you guys some functional pretend play toys that are going to just blow your mind. And boy, I'm not kidding at all. And Baylee, I just have to tell you guys, we have gone so gazonga over your plush food sets. We gave you guys the top toy winner in the preschool division, which is no small thing. It's like when we give you the top toy award, it's that we're saying that in all categories you like hit it out of the park. So We loved this. And can I tell you, when we did our day of like letting other people play, every single person who walked in the door had fun with these functional pretend play. And so I just want to, for those of you who watch the show, you probably know because I talk about functional pretend play all the time, but they're toys that look like a real thing, but they're different. And a lot of times our kids on the spectrum are food sensitive, so we need to work with the functional pretend play toys that are the food stuff. But a lot of times in the past, you would go to the store and it would be these hard plastic, primary colored plastic things, which was okay, but you know, you don't want to play with them for very long. There's nothing fun about them. And you guys made these, and they are in a whole other class. This is like the best thing I've ever seen. So I'm going to make a sandwich. You tell folks what I'm playing with here.
So we have 3 sets of plush food available in baking, fruits and veggies, and a breakfast and lunch. You know, it comes with your eggs, bacon, bread, bologna and cheese, stuff like that. And then the baking, the fruits, really round out the set so that so children can have different, make all different types of dishes, like you said, functional. So these are great because they're plush, they're soft, and it's compact sand inside, so it's durable, it's gonna last, but it doesn't break.
They're super soft, you guys, and they're in just the nicest, softest, like corduroy and velour, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And they have weight to them, which is important when we're working with kiddos, because a lot of our kiddos, you know, autism showed up whenever it showed up, and at whatever point it showed up, our kids started to get behind on skills. So they might be behind in communication, they might be behind in fine motor skills, they might be behind in facial motor skills, right? There are all these little pockets of things where our kids either regress or stagnate, right? And we want to be working on all of those things and getting them up to speed. So before, when you used to have the plastic pretend banana, you know, it was plastic, it didn't have any weight to it, it didn't feel good, it wasn't a sensory good experience. Now, everybody that I've had hold this plastic banana, that by the way, actually comes out of the peel, has gone, oh my gosh, this is the most fun thing. And I think back, there was a kiddo that we filmed a lot with, who, if you had a banana in the room, this child would cry. He would just burst into tears. And his family wanted him to be able to eat and eat fruits and vegetables. And so they worked for months with the plastic banana. I don't think they would have had to spend months if they had had this, because it's so reinforcing. Anytime a kiddo would come into the space when we were doing the toy play, and sometimes they were overwhelmed because we had a lot of toys, right? And I would usually say to them, hey, let's go over here. And they would immediately start touching all of the stuff. And I would say, let's make a sandwich. We had kids that were nonverbal, and they were picking up the bread and putting bacon on it and putting the bologna and the cheese and putting the other piece of bread, and then we would pretend to eat. Oh, and it was so much fun. It was so much fun. We enjoyed it so much. We also, in the sets that I've got out here, we had such a good time. Like, look at this mushroom. It is the cutest thing I have ever seen in my life. And our little scallions. I'm telling you, I absolutely love this. Our little carrots, there's a fried egg. So I've got 2 sets here out on the table, but there are 3 sets. I didn't take out the one that's baking. This is just so cute, and it's got the little spatula and it's got the cookies. And please don't anybody say to me that these are toys just for girls, because my head will pop and spin around the room. These are great toys for all of our kids. If you want your child to have a relationship with food that's healthy, boy or girl, we absolutely need to have these functional pretend, and you need to sit down and be touching the toys with them and pretend eating with them as well. But you will love it if you have these toys to play with. So what inspired you guys, Baylee, to decide to make them out of really plush fabrics? I love my tomato.
It was more, we wanted to be different and get away from the plastic that you see. This set is actually the accessories to our pop-over canvas covers that look like stoves. They just tie over a chair. So they're really lightweight, portable, great for taking them grandma and grandpa's. So it was to go with our canvas and our just away from plastic.
And you guys also make other things. I see you've got some of your fabulous ukuleles behind you. What else have you got there on the shelf that I can't see?
So for summer, we make pool floats. So these are two of our Jurassic ones. And then we also have a donut and a sea turtle right there. Those are just a few. But those, you know, the flamingo and swans you see on Instagram and in stores, we make those.
Oh, fabulous. So, so you guys know these pretend plays, and I've got my hot dog here, right? This, these are called pop-over. So it's P-O-P-O-H-V-E-R with dashes between the pop-over. So pop-over, and where can they get them, Baylee?
So it's popover.com, same way it's spelled, no dashes. P-O-P-O-H-V-E-R.
Fabulous. And I also want to mention that if you're on our website and you go to the toy guide, which is at the top of the page, the little icon says toy guide, click on it. This is the preschool top toy winners. So you just have to go to the preschool section, find the popover pretend food sets, and take your mouse and hover it over the name of the toy and click on it, and it'll take you directly to their site so that you can order it direct. They're so fabulous. I can't even describe. I wish you guys could feel them. They're absolutely wonderful. I really love this. You know, they've done all kinds of studies now looking at children of all abilities in high school to see, do they recognize what the names of healthy foods are and where they come from. And it's a place where we really need to do a lot of work, right? And this is a great way to start with our kiddos, whether they be on the spectrum or not, but especially if they're on the spectrum. These toys are going to help you to have that healthy relationship with the food. It's healthy play. And these are durable toys that will last you through more than one generation. I love my little chicken leg. Isn't it cute? And you can't imagine, you guys, it's so soft. So Baylee, you have to go back to everybody there and tell them how much we loved these toys, please. We just adore them. And again, you guys, pop over and tell us again the website where they can go direct if they don't want to go through our website. I'm going to eat.
So it's popover.com, P-O-P-O-H-V-E-R.com.
You will have such a good time playing with these. And I love that we have the knife so that we can pretend cut. I love that I've got my little kumquat here and I've got an orange slice. It's fabulous, you guys. They're soft, they're squishy, they have weight. You just can't stop playing with them. So definitely check out these toys. Make yourself a pretend sandwich with the kiddo in your life and have a super good time. Baylee, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, bye-bye. I truly love these, you guys. Popover plush pretend food sets. And there's three different, the baking set, the fruits and vegetables, and the plush pretend food set. Get one to start or get all three. You're gonna want all three before you're done, but they're super duper fabulous. Stick with us, we're gonna be back with more toys after these messages.
Hi guys, welcome back to Smarty. This month we're going to be making a placemat prompter. As we work on this activity, you'll notice that these icons will pop up.
These tell you important information about what skills we're using to create the craft and how to access these lessons in the Skills program. Skills is the ABA-based online tool that helps parents educate their children that are on the autism spectrum. And if you are a Skills user, this will help you get the most out of this educational experience. Well, let's get started. The materials you'll be needing are the template from our Facebook page at facebook.com/autism-live and your dishware. This activity is going to help your child be able to set the table on their own. The way we do that is by using this prompt. This template acts as a placemat for the table. So it has all the prompts as to where all the dishes and utensils need to go on the table. And as your child gets better in remembering where everything goes, you can remove prompts to make it more challenging for them. And lo and behold, as time goes on, they'll be able to do it independently without any prompts. Well, I hope you enjoy this really super quick and helpful activity. Well, until next time guys, craft on! To find more about Skills and to access all of the lessons you saw in today's Smarty, visit skillsforautism.com and click on the parent icon. Skills, the online autism solution.
Parent to parent, you might be asking yourself, how can I make this Thanksgiving something to be grateful for with a child on the autism spectrum? Well, the first thing that we want to do for Thanksgiving is stop and consider what the child really enjoys eating. Thanksgiving is supposed to be a wonderful food holiday. We don't want to leave the child out of that. So what will they actually eat? And that's what we want to consider feeding them. If they have their happiest food, they're going to be very happy and you'll be happy too. We also want to think of minimizing the schedule disruptions. A lot of times for Thanksgiving, people have this wonderful notion of let's eat dinner at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That isn't really going to be a successful strategy for a lot of our kids on the autism spectrum. So set your meal times at regular meal times, and if you absolutely have to have it at a different time, make sure that you feed the child at the regular time and lower your expectations for what they're going to eat at the actual table. We also want to let go of expectations. Remember that expectations are planned resentment, so let it go and consider starting some new traditions for Thanksgiving. It may be that turkey hot dogs are the new tradition for your family for Thanksgiving, but remember, holidays are meant to be enjoyed for everyone. So find a way that your child will really be excited for this Thanksgiving, and I guarantee you, you'll be more grateful. How can I prepare my child for a successful holiday dinner?
Hello, activists. Let's talk about step 7. Recognize your gifts and abilities. Whatever gifts and abilities you had before autism entered your life, you have them now. And I bet you've developed some that you didn't even know you had. Those gifts and abilities are going to help you in your journey of parenting a child with autism spectrum disorders. Maybe you're a born researcher, teacher, negotiator, or organizer. Well, you're going to need all of those talents. And you could find a whole new calling. That's what happened to me. If you had told me 20 years ago that I was going to leave behind a career as a television producer to work as an autism advocate and activist, I would have said, you're nuts. If you don't think you have any special gifts or abilities, ask someone who loves you. They'll tell you what they are. I guarantee you, you have them. What's your special gift? Find it, use it, for yourself, for your child, for the good of all concerned. Until next time, keep the faith.
Arts and craft activities are a great way to practice on skills you're already working on with your child. For the month of November, we'll be making a paper corn. The skill we're going to be focusing on with this activity is fine motor, more specifically the pincher grasp. You'll see why in just a moment. Depending on the skill level of your child, you can also have them help you fold the paper, trace the silhouette of the corn, or cut it out. It all depends on what you want to be focusing on today. The materials you'll be needing are paper, tissue paper, a pencil, glue, and a cup of water and paintbrush if you're using the wet glue, scissors, and a template you can download from our website at facebook.com/autism-live. And don't forget to like us while you're there. Or you can always just draw it from your imagination. All right, let's start the activity. First I want to do is take my tissue paper I bought from the store and turn it into strips that I can then turn into squares. Again, they don't need to be perfect squares because we're going to be changing its form anyways in the end. All right. And as you can see, I've done it to several different colors. I cheated, and they're all right here for me to use. All right, the next thing we want to do is to make the shape that we're going to be gluing all the kernels onto. I have my template that I already downloaded from facebook.com/autism-live, and now I'm going to use this to make the form that we're going to be gluing onto. I'm going to take one of my pieces of paper, I'm going to fold it in half. This way the corn will be symmetrical. Once it's been folded in half, I'm going to take my form and then I'm going to trace around it. And again, depending on your child's skill level, either you can do it or the child can do it. But again, the focus of this activity is the pincher grasp. All right, now that I have it traced, I'm going to cut it out. And ta-da, here is my blank corn, but it's missing its kernels. So now that's what we're gonna be working on. I'm gonna use this glue, but you can always use a glue stick as well. The reason why I like this one is that it doesn't dry as fast. So I'm gonna squeeze it all over my corn and then take my paintbrush, dip it in some water, and then smear it all over the corn. The next step is making the kernels. What your child is gonna do is take one of the tissue squares and practice their pincher grasp. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And once they have this, then they're gonna place it onto the corn. And as you can see, it's got a lot of surface area to cover with these kernels, so lots of opportunities to practice their pincher grasp. And ta-da! It's done. As you can see, lots of opportunity to practice your child's pincher grasp. When you're finished, don't forget to share your pictures online at facebook.com/autism-live. I look forward to seeing them and see you soon. Bye.
Can you see me? Can you see me flying by your side?
Welcome back to Autism Live. Joining us right now is Edoardo Kulp, and he is joining us from North Star Games, and we are ginormous fans of North Star Games. In fact, this year we picked Dirty Pig, which is the Dirty Pig card game, which I'm already cracking up about it, but we picked this as our Teen Tween Therapist Award winner for the year. But we could have put this in so many different categories because it is an award winner. It's just that the therapists went on and on and on about how much they love this game that we had to let them have the title of it. But super fabulous. So Edoardo, I just want to say, because we were talking just a minute ago, North Star is also the maker of one of our other favorite all-time games, which is Happy Salmon. So I'm just going to tell everybody right now, you should have, there we go, Happy Salmon. Get both of these games and stick them in your bag to take with you wherever you go for the holidays and beyond, because you can play this with so many different people in so many different ways. I'm going to talk about Happy Salmon again in a minute, but let's really showcase Dirty Pig. We laughed until we were beside ourselves, but we loved how much this card game worked on cause and effect and thinking ahead and you know, that sort of brain's mindset when you're playing chess about how you have to think 3 moves ahead. We loved how much this was helping teens and tweens in a really fun format where they had nothing to lose, but to be able to think, I didn't think ahead for that one. I'll have to remember next time.
But much simpler than chess, that's for sure.
Yeah, so much simpler than chess. But to start to teach that problem solving, thinking ahead, cause and effect, great game, but hilarious in the meantime. So tell us a little bit about Dirty Pig card game.
Well, it's actually an import from Germany where, and we brought it here to the States. It's done tremendously well in Germany, but in a nutshell, and I have some cards here. The idea is to dirty up this pig. If you notice, he's clean and he's not very happy. You want to make him dirty. And to do that, you play one of a few cards. You can play a Dirty Pig card, and that makes your pig dirty, so you turn over one of your pigs, which you have in front of you, from clean to dirty. But then the nasty farmer can come in and dirty up your pig. So you would have to take your pig from dirty back to clean again. Oh no, we don't like doing that. Also, rain can come through and wipe all of your pigs, everyone at the table, wipe them clean again. So let's just say you want to protect yourself from the rain. You could put a barn on your pig. That pig gets into the barn. He's he's knowledgeable. He knows what he's doing. But you know, the crazy thing is that the farmer can still go into the barn to clean your pig. It might protect you from the rain, but not the farmer. So you put a door up, those crafty pigs. But you know, the crazy thing, the storms keep on coming, and lightning can come and burn your barn down. Oh no, so now your pig is exposed to all the elements and to the farmer again. But if you put a lightning rod on your barn, then your barn is protected, you're protected, and a pig with a barn and a door and a lightning rod is perfectly protected from the farmer and from the rain and from the lightning. And the first person to get all their pigs clean wins the game. And as simple as that. And so you go around and you play a card on each of your pigs. And so you have to kind of, as you were saying, you have to look at the table and see, you know, if you have 3 pigs, if the game is played with that you have to dirty up 3 pigs or 4 or 5, it depends on how many people are playing. You have to see how many people's pigs are dirty, and maybe it just takes 1 more to dirty another pig, and that person wins the game. So maybe you want to clean that person's other pigs, you know, that sort of thing. So you really have to keep a keen eye on the table to see who has the most clean pigs.
And we found
dirty pigs. Excuse me, dirty pigs.
We found that when playing this game, and it could be that a therapist, it only takes 2 people to be able to play the game, but you could pull other people in. That I believe how many? You can do 2 to 6.
Up to 6 players. Yeah.
And I thought the more people you pulled in, I thought the fun got more and more, because then it became a thing about on your turn, if you were going to clean somebody's pig, whose pig are you cleaning, and what is your strategy, and looking at everybody's pig, and people were saying, no, I just got that pig dirty, don't clean that pig up, no. Exactly. And like, no, my pigs were almost all dirty, and I thought they were safe, but then it rained, and I mean, we just were having a ball with it, and the kids really enjoyed it. It was a safe place to work on social things, to work on winning and losing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because we call it kind of the take that type of game. In other words, take that, I just cleaned your pig. And, you know, and sometimes that can get a little nasty in certain games, like take that, and some people don't like that. This game, it is so much fun, and all the kids and the adults are laughing. And that's what we love about this game also, is that it's not only just wonderful for the kids, but the adults love playing it too, and playing it with their families, with their kids.
Yeah, perfect holiday game. But really perfect for any time that you're getting together with a group of people to play games. But our therapists really loved this. They cited specifically, Edoardo, that there were so many different lessons that they could work on with teenagers that, like I said, that thinking ahead piece, excuse me, I got a tickle in my throat. They, you know, from the very simple of taking turns, but being a good winner, not being a sore loser, being strategic, problem solving, and how to think through which would go first and which would go later. You know, it's the kind of thinking that we all want from our teenagers, because they're going to have to think this through when doing assignments in high school, but that's kind of boring, right? To learn it with that. But to give them a safe environment of this gameplay in which to do it was just superlative. Really super fun, fast-paced game that everybody that we played it with absolutely loved it, and the kids enjoyed it. We played it with young adults. They enjoyed it. Super duper fun. It's the kind of game that you could sit down and have grandma play with the kids, with you there, and everybody's going to be able to play it, and it's going to be really enjoyable. But we specifically said teen and tween because but you could do it with adults, but there is a little bit of executive function and planning that makes you more successful at this. And it's all those skills that we all want to be successful in business, that I know it sounds crazy, but the groundwork of all that gets worked out within this game. It's really, really smart and clever. So Dirty Pig, where can they get the game?
You can get it on our website, northstargames.com. It's also available at Amazon, of course, if you want to do the online thing. But it's also available at most of the smaller, you know, mom and pop toy and specialty toy stores out there. I think you might be able to find it at Barnes & Noble also. But definitely check your the mom and pops. We always like to support them, the small toy shops out there.
Yes, we love our good Astra toys and mom and pop toy stores. And I would say to you, it's a very affordable game too. When you're going out and looking for value and things that will last and that aren't a big cleanup and that come in their own carrying case, it's one of the things that we love about your North Star games is that when you're done with the cards, you've got this lovely little zipper pouch that says Dirty Pig on it, and you put the cards in and you zip it up, and that's all that you have to do. Even doing that, we're working on fine motor. It is not a difficult thing, but something to work on. So definitely get that. I do want to say too that as with all of the things that we are featuring in our toy guide, if you go to autism-live.com, click on the toy guide icon at the top of the page. For this particular game, you're going to go to the tween and teen category, find the game, and if you hover your mouse over the title of the game and click it, it'll take you directly to a place that you can order the game. We're not in a relationship with North Star. We don't get a kickback from that. We just put that in that because we want you guys to get access to these good quality games. But I will tell you that if you're going to go and get a Dirty Pig, if you're going to go to a mom and pop store or you're going to go to North Star Games, while you're there, get Happy Salmon too, because it's awesome. It is. I have to say it's probably my all-time favorite thing. I also love that these games, you just stick them in your purse. So, you got to go over to Aunt Betty's house and you don't know what Aunt Betty has going on and whether she's going to have dinner ready or not, or she's got nothing to entertain the kids with. And you've got those two things in your purse. You whip them out and everybody's going to have a good time no matter what's going on. And Happy Salmon, I promised that I was going to tell this story. So a couple of years ago, my niece and her husband, their family adopted a little girl from Colombia who happens to have cerebral palsy. And she came to us and spoke like 2 words of English and had some physical challenges that she had to overcome. And the first holiday season, everybody wanted to make her feel at home and welcome, but there was like language barriers. There were all kinds of things going on. We sat down and played Happy Salmon with her. And for those of you who haven't played Happy Salmon, there are a couple of different ways that you can play. And first we played the very loud version of Happy Salmon. And we were laughing until we just fell over. And that was all wonderful. But then what I love for our kiddos on the spectrum is that then you play the nonverbal version of Happy Salmon, which is the most fun that a group of people can have and have it be legal. It really is. And this little girl, I mean, I think she was getting a little frustrated when we were playing the verbal side because she has a very small voice and she didn't know all the words to say, but we played the nonverbal version of Happy Salmon. And honestly, it was the first time that I think she felt like, oh, this is my new family and my family loves me and we will be okay and we will have fun together. The bigger family. She already knew in her little family that she had that, but with the rest of us that were the peripheral family, it was like, oh, okay, we got you. All from playing Happy Salmon. We still talk about it. Every time I see her, she says, are we going to play Happy Salmon? So we love. And I imagine that there are 1,000,008 other games you have at North Star Games that I haven't played yet. So people should go there. North Star Games?
NorthStarGames.com. North Star Games. Yes.
Okay.
So.
Well, kudos to you guys for making these superlative games and for making it a really great holiday season, but really having games for year-round.
It's amazing on how board games and card games have just taken off, get people off the phones and off the electronics, and they're just nice and wholesome fun, and we love making them.
Amen to that. And that together time, making eye contact time, really super fun. I guarantee, check out Dirty Pig card game, but also check out Happy Salmon and look at all of the North Star games. Thank you, Edoardo, so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really been a pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you. We'll probably see you next year.
Hopefully.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Honestly, you guys, love this game. Had so much fun playing it. And Happy Salmon, don't even get me started. So much fun. So check those out. We're going to take a brief break and then we're going to come back to close out the show. Stick with us. Parent to parent, having a compliant child is one of the greatest things on earth. But frequently we ask ourselves, why doesn't my child listen? Well, here are some tips to help us to get a listening, happy, compliant child. First, we want to make sure that we make compliance worthwhile. Whenever your child does something that's compliant, make sure that you praise them and heap rewards on them that are meaningful to them, things they really want. One of the things that we have to be mindful of is that if the child isn't compliant, we have to praise more often. Just heap it on. If you say to yourself, there's nothing to praise, they're not doing anything that I want them to do, then ask them to do something that they already want to do. This is a really tricky way of being able to praise them. And then, of course, the last thing that we want to do is catch them doing good things when they least suspect it. And make sure you heap that praise on, because having a compliant child is one of the best things in life. Token economies are a great way to get to good behavior with your child. Welcome back. So excited that we've featured all of these great toys, and we are nowhere near done, you guys. We have so many more toys coming up in the next couple of weeks to get us to the final show of the year, which is in sight. But we got a lot of great guests too in between the toys. Let me give you a little bit of a heads up here about what's happening next week. Now, next week is here in the United States, it's Thanksgiving. So on Monday, we've got a great show for you with Bonnie Yates and a bunch more toys that we're going to be featuring. On Tuesday, we're going to show a best of. On Wednesday, I'm going to have to let you know later on. I'm told that we have Dr. Grampiche. I don't know that I 100% believe that, but it's very possible that we will be doing a live show the day before Thanksgiving with Dr. Doreen Grampiche. On Thursday for Thanksgiving, what more could we do on Thanksgiving? We're going to show a best of some of our best interviews with Dr. Temple Grandin, because she's one of the main things that we're grateful for. By the way, if we don't have Dr. Grampiche live with us on Wednesday, we will show the best of Dr. Grampiche, because we're grateful for her every single day of the week. And then on Friday, we are going to be showing you some pretty amazing toys. So it's Black Friday. If you're needing to figure out what you need to purchase on Friday, tune in to see us on Friday. And then, of course, we are back that following week with all new shows and all new programming for you. That week, we will finish that week with our Sensitive Santa event that we do here in Los Angeles. We partner with We Rock the Spectrum Kids Gyms and with the Center for Autism and Related Disorders. CARD donates therapists who come and play with the kids in the sensory gym. And the kids come to the gym. They are signed up for an hour, and they get to play on all the equipment and have a super great time. And at some point during the hour, so there's no waiting in line. This is one of my favorite things. It's a reason, I love We Rock the Spectrum Kids Gyms, but it's one of the reasons why we do the Sensitive Santa with them is because there's no waiting. Kids are playing, and then an elf comes and gets them and says, it's your turn to go in and have a private visit with Santa. And the family gets to go in, the whole family, the kiddo on the spectrum, whoever you brought with your party, they get to go in, they sit on Santa's lap, and they get to take as many pictures as they want. And remember, there's no cost for this. But then, before they leave, they are given a wrapped toy. All of the toys that you've seen us here demonstrating, all of the toys that were submitted to us by toy companies saying, hey, look at our toy, tell us if we've got a good toy for kiddos on the spectrum. We wrap all of those toys, and we give those to the kiddos at the Sensitive Santa events. This year we're doing it 3 separate times. So we're just with We Rock the Spectrum. So there's a Thursday night, a Friday night, and a Saturday day. There are also a couple of other autism events that people asked us to partner up with that we are participating as well. So we're so excited that this year we have so many toys, quality toys that we're giving away and helping to spread the cheer. I just want to say that if you are someone who is feeling the lack, I have been the autism parent who looked at my checkbook and went, okay, I don't have enough money to get my child a toy this year. and get the medicine that he needs and put a meal on the table for Christmas dinner. And I just want to say to you that reach out. There are places. I was lucky because I got a letter from Taka saying, if you're without this season, let us know. And I said, unfortunately, you know, it took a lot. You know, your pride hurts when you have to say, I can't do it. But I did, and oh man, they took care of us. Oh, I could sob, right? So don't be afraid to reach out locally or nationally and let people know that you are without this holiday season. Sometimes amazing things happen. I leave you guys with that note. I hope you have a great, safe weekend. I know some of you are traveling. Please take your games with you. Right? And we will see you back here on Monday. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now.